Gemini, welcome to your astrology reading for the month of April. And so before I get started, so the way that these are written, this is going to be most applicable for your rising sign. So this is how other people perceive you. It is still applicable for your sun sign because that's what everybody knows. And that is how you express yourself. And then for your moon sign, so that is how you process everything through that emotional lens. And so kind of just jumping right into it here. So we've got a lot of Aries energy happening this month. We do have an eclipse in the sign of Aries this month. We have a lot of Taurus energy. And so what this means for you is a lot of this is going to impact your 11th and 12th houses. And so 11th house is your circle of friends. Your 12th house is your subconscious. So you can kind of already see something coming here with internal changes or maybe something happening internally and impacting your circle of friends. And so right away on the 1st, we'll have Mercury station retrograde. And so it'll station retrograde in the sign of Aries. This happens at 6:14 in the evening, Eastern time. And of course, it would happen on April Fool's Day. But the pre-shadow actually started on the 18th. So even as I'm recording this, we're already in the pre-shadow, post-shadow. So the retrograde is going to end on the 25th, but the post-shadow doesn't end until May 13th. So we're going to be in this energy for a little while. And so when Mercury stations retrograde in the sign of Aries, it's not alone. It'll have Chiron, the sun, and the North Node all in the sign of Aries. North Node being the eclipse that we're going to have here about a week later. And so when Mercury stations retrograde, it's actually going to be square Pluto in Aquarius. And so Mercury, when it's direct, this is communication. You always hear about things when Mercury goes retrograde. It doesn't impact everybody the same, but Mercury, when it's direct, it's communication, it's your speaking voice, it's how you process information. When it's retrograde, it flips inward. And so now it's internal processing of everything. It is maybe how you see yourself. It is just this inward reflection. Instead of an outward communication, everything gets directed inward. And so square Pluto in Aquarius, we're going to have that energy for probably another 19 years. This is about changes. These are necessary changes. These are transformational changes, breaking down barriers. And so when you see that square energy happening here, it does create some sort of obstacle or challenge. There's some sort of change that needs to be made as it relates to this Mercury in Aries energy. And so the Mercury in Aries energy is going to impact your house of friends. So this is your group of friends. So again, thinking about maybe what's going on with your group of friends? Is there something here that needs to change? Is there something connected to your friends that's maybe preventing you from growing? Because the Pluto and Aquarius energy is sitting in your 9th house, which is higher education, long distance travel. This is growth. This is expansion. This is seeing the truth of a situation. And so what is it about your friends or maybe your group of friends, your current group of friends, that prevents you from maybe going out and getting that advanced degree? Is there something here connected to it? Like, are they judging you in some sort of way? Do they not have an advanced degree? And this is maybe one of the reasons that you don't pursue it, is because you don't want to kind of be on a different timeline. You don't want to have to remove yourself from social situations because that's usually what it would require. And so something like that is coming to the surface here. We'll also have Mercury conjunct Chiron in Aries. And so again, Mercury being very internal right now, processing information. Chiron in Aries. So Chiron is the wounded healer. And again, for you, this is going to impact your house of friends. So what is it about your friends? Why did you choose those friends? What is it about them that validates a piece of you? Because the wound that's coming to the surface here as it relates to your friends, and it's on the tip of my tongue, and I'm having a hard time articulating exactly what I'm feeling. It's almost like you chose these friends for a specific reason because they saw you in a specific way, and you don't want to shatter that image. Why? Because the wound that's coming to the surface does need to be challenged. It does need to be addressed and healed and cut away. And so does this relate to you maybe being a people pleaser within your group of friends? What's preventing you from actually going after your own growth? Because there is something connected to your friends and maybe the path that you're on or want to be on and the path that they're on, and then this wound that's coming to the surface. Because the wound that's coming to the surface is meant to get you out of that stuck energy, because it does feel stuck, so that you can grow and expand. We'll come back to that because that's actually going to be coming up several times. It's going to be pretty much a theme during the month of April for you. And so on the 5th, we'll have Venus enter Aries, so that's going to happen exactly at midnight. So if you're any other time zone, it's probably, well, Western time zone in the US, it'll be the night before. And so when this happens, we'll have Mercury, Chiron, Sun, Venus, and again, the North Node, all in the sign of Aries. And so Venus is all about what you value, what you want. It's harmony. It's bringing things together, including relationships. And so for you, Venus entering into the mix in the sign of your friend relationships. So that's being highlighted here. And right away, Venus will be conjunct to Neptune and Pisces, and Neptune and Pisces are the goals and the dreams that you have for yourself. And so with Venus conjunct Neptune, this is about your friends and your career. So is there some sort of growth connected to your career? Are you afraid to take some sort of leap of faith because it would put you on a different playing field than the rest of your friends? That feels like it's connected to some of this information that you might be recognizing around the 1st when Mercury stations retrograde. But here, what you're being given an opportunity to do is really evaluate what you like about your friends. And so thinking about, how do your friends see you? Because that is a reputation you have. You have a reputation among your friends. In your career, you have a reputation there. And so really trying to understand how these different areas of your life interact and what kind of relationship do you have with the people in both. Venus will also sextile Pluto in Aquarius. And again, so Pluto in Aquarius is going to impact your 9th house of growth and expansion. And so what is it about you value with your friends that, again, might be holding you back from growing and expanding and maybe, again, going back to school? Because career is being highlighted here. If you're trying to get some sort of education or some sort of higher education than what you currently have, that would be highlighted. That would be some sort of necessary change that could help your career. Then we'll have the solar eclipse. So we'll have the solar eclipse. We'll also have the new moon in Aries. And so this is a really interesting one because the eclipse itself will happen at 2:17 in the afternoon Eastern time, but the new moon will be exact at 2:21 Eastern time. And so when this happens here, this is a lot of Aries energy taking place. We'll have the sun, the moon, Mercury, Chiron, Venus, and of course the North Node, because this is the eclipse. This is the North Node eclipse. This is a fated point here, and the reason I'm calling that out is because we'll have the sun, the moon, and Chiron all at the exact same point in the sky, which means their energy is very blended. We know about the sun, so the sun is how you express yourself. We know about the moon, that is your emotions. Chiron is the wounded healer, and so now your wounds are coming to the surface. There's something connected to this eclipse that is really surfacing all of these old wounds, but it's not doing it in a malicious way. It's giving you this opportunity to address them, to heal from them, to remove them from your life. And so for you, again, this is all going to come down to your 11th house. This is your community of friends. Why, I'm going to go back to, why did you choose these people to be friends with? What about this group of friends really drew you in? It's almost like they didn't help heal a piece of you, but they almost covered up a wound. And now that wound is coming to the surface. And so there is going to be some sort of dynamic change that would probably end up happening here in your circle of friends, because when this wound comes to the surface, you're going to be different. When you heal through something like this, you're going to be different. We all do. We all are going to go through this. This isn't specific to any one sign, but it is something to draw your attention to, because there is something here that needs to be healed. And maybe it's not even this wound about why you chose those friends, but maybe it could even be relationships that you have that have been not great lately, that you've been at odds with people, and this is giving you some sort of opportunity to really address the wounds that you have with them. And then again, going back to that deeper, why are those wounds there? What happened here? What did that trigger for you? Because again, there's something about these wounds, and what is triggering these wounds. It's showing you what needs to be healed, what needs to be addressed here. We'll also have the moon conjunct Mercury. So again, Mercury is retrograde, so there's a lot of internal reflection that's taking place here. So when you think about it from an emotional lens, as this wound is coming to the surface, as it's being triggered within your group of friends, you are going to process this information. You're really going to think about this information, but it's not just a thinking cerebral type of information. The moon here is at play, so there's a lot of emotional processing of what this wound is and the impact that it has on your life. And so this is a really significant solar eclipse from that perspective. We'll also have Mercury retrograde, square Pluto and Aquarius. And so again, a lot of internal processing when it comes to your friend relationships. Pluto and Aquarius with this house of growth, this ninth house energy, this expansion, this growth that's taking place here. And so again, whatever wounds are coming to the surface, there's something here that is holding you back. It's just preventing you from being happier. And so that's why it's coming to the surface. It's giving you this opportunity to heal so that you can grow, you can expand in your life, in your career, whatever your next steps are going to be. And it does seem more ninth and 10th house related. That's been coming up a lot here. So whatever these wounds are, they've been holding you back from going after exactly what you want from a career standpoint and a growth standpoint. On the 19th, we'll have the sun enter Taurus. So that's going to happen at 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And so when that happens, we'll have Sun, Jupiter, and Uranus all in the sign of Taurus. The sun will be conjunct Chiron in Aries. And so sun in Taurus is about really shining a light on what you value, what you want. For you, Taurus impacts your 12th house. So this is your subconscious. And with Chiron and Aries, this is your 11th house, this is your group of friends. And so there is some sort of, okay, well, what is it I want for myself? What do I value about myself? And conjunct this Chiron and Aries, how does that relate to the wounds that are coming to the surface these friend wounds that are coming to the surface, this trigger from a group of friends? How does that relate to what it is that you value, what it is that you want for yourself? Because there is some sort of connection here. There is some sort of conjunction where the wound is showing you where you've been holding yourself back, where you need to heal from this wound. We'll also have the sun square Pluto in Aquarius. And again, so more square energy. This is about that, again, subconscious self, all of this kind of internal processing that's taking place as it relates to the changes that are necessary for you to grow. So there is some sort of obstacle or barrier here that does need to be liberated. It's a square energy, so it's giving you can get through it. It's not something that's just going to happen on its own. With a square, you do have to take action in order to overcome it here. We'll also have Jupiter conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So that's going to happen on the 20th at 10:27 at night. And so Jupiter conjunct Uranus, Jupiter is all about expansion. That is the planet of expansion. It's the most benefic planet out there. And then we've got Uranus, which is all about sudden change. It's not change in a negative way. It's change meant to support your growth, especially in this context, because Jupiter is conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus. This is giving you really an opportunity to see things from a high level perspective, see the truth of a situation, make those necessary changes in order for you to get and align with your values, because Taurus is about what you value. And so it's about bringing that back down into this earth realm, really grounding everything here. And so for you, this is going to impact your 12th house. This is impacting you internally on that subconscious level. Then we'll have the full moon in Scorpio. So that's going to happen on the 23rd at 7:49 at night Eastern time. And so when this happens, we have the sun and the moon. They're at different points in the sky. They're exactly opposite each other at 180 degrees. And so the moon in Scorpio is about some sort of emotional transformation that is taking place. And the sun in Taurus, this is about something here that was grounded that maybe needs to be modified. So there's some sort of, the way that you're expressing yourself and the way that you feel about something else, they're at odds. They're just opposite each other. There's this push-pull type of energy happening here. And so for you, the 6th house of Scorpio occupies your 6th house. It's probably a better way of saying it. So Scorpio sits in your 6th house of daily routines. And so all of your daily routines, think about work, think about working out, whatever it is that you do. It includes your diet, exercise, like everything that you can possibly think of. It falls into your 6th house. It's also the house of being in service. And so when you think about your daily routines in Scorpio, so what changes do you want to make in your daily routines? Because these would be things that you emotionally want to make as they relate to your subconscious as they relate to really these wounds that are coming up, because that's really being highlighted this entire time, is these wounds that are coming up within your 12th house, showing you what needs. So again, your friend's triggered some sort of wound, it's coming to the surface, it's something that's deep inside you, and now there is some sort of impact on your daily routine. Healing this wound and keeping your current routine won't work. It just won't work. And so it's about creating some sort of transformation, having some sort of change take place in your daily routine to align your emotions with the healing and the growth that you're going through. Then on the 25th, we'll have Mercury station direct in the sign of Aries. And so this is going to happen at 8:54 in the morning Eastern time. The post shadow is going to end on May 13th, as I said before. So we're still in the energy for a little while. And when it happens, we'll have Venus, Chiron, and Mercury in the sign of Aries. And so Mercury will be conjunct Venus. But what's really significant here is that because Mercury is not retrograde anymore, this would give you that outward expression. And this is now processing information that you get from the outside. This is not looking inward for all the answers anymore. This is actually looking outward. And so that's significant here, because in your group of friends, which is what's being highlighted, this is about really seeing the truth of a situation, what's been holding you back, really maybe even having conversations about some of these triggers that have been coming to the surface, these old wounds that are coming to the surface. With Venus and Aries, it is about, okay, but this is what I need in order to feel grounded, in order to feel whole, in order to value myself and really love myself, because that is Venus energy. There is a lot of self-love connected to that. And so this is giving you an opportunity to have those conversations with your friends. Whereas maybe earlier in the month, you didn't feel comfortable having those conversations. This is giving you that opportunity, and it's going to feel very natural to be able to speak exactly what's been happening, how you're changing, how you feel about the entire situation. And then on the 29th, we'll have Venus enter Taurus. So that's going to happen at 7:32 in the morning Eastern time. And so when it happens, we'll have Venus, Sun, Uranus, and Jupiter all in the sign of Taurus, Venus being the ruler of Taurus. So definitely a positive aspect there. And Venus will conjunct the Sun in the sign of Taurus. And so again, Venus, what you value, what you want here, harmony, balancing of everything that you value, who you are, relationships. Venus rules relationships. And so when it comes to the Sun in Taurus, again, more of that same energy, but now it's kind of expression. It's that soul's expression. It's being highlighted here more than anything else. And so this is for you specifically, what this is coming down to is this is occupying your 12th house. So this is all that subconscious. This is really giving yourself that self-love. That's what this is coming down to. This is all going to provide you this opportunity to love yourself. So kind of thinking back to those changes you want to make in your daily routine, this ties into it, where make sure that you're making time in your daily routine for some of this self-love. If there's something that you need to do for yourself, as you can incorporate that into your daily routine, is it something where maybe you want to spend more time? Maybe it's you want to spend more time with friends. Maybe it's you want to spend more time alone. Whatever it is, all of this really flows together, and it's highlighted here as that you need to make time, and you need to find a way to love yourself, and whatever that means for you. Venus will also be conjunct Chiron in Aries, and again, so this is about these old wounds coming to the surface, might have been triggered by friends, related to friends in some sort of way, also related to yourself, subconscious, I can't get the word out. And so again, self-love when it comes to your friends, and it comes to yourself, and it comes to kind of this harmony that you're trying to kind of blend together, because that's what this is doing. Towards the end of the month, you're being given this chance to really blend everything together. It is going to happen seamlessly. So don't be alarmed when it happens. It's just that you might find yourself in this, you're really going through a transformational period and expressing it, because now Mercury is direct. We'll also have Venus and the Sun square Pluto in Aquarius. And again, so this is where you're being, it's not an opportunity because it is an obstacle or challenge, but something here has been holding you back from some sort of expansion, some sort of growth in your life. And so this is all kind of coming to the surface. So where you're healing this wound, you're maybe having conversations with your friends about this wound. Sorry. it's becoming more clear as to what's been holding you back. And so really thinking through what changes do you need to make and continue to make as you go through this healing process so that you can go after exactly what you want here, that growth. And then on the 30th at 11:33 in the morning Eastern time, we'll have Mars enter Aries. Mars is the ruler of Aries. And so Mars is the planet of action. Mars is the god of war. So think of it through that lens where cutting away whatever doesn't work for you, whatever doesn't matter anymore to you. We will have Mars conjunct Neptune, Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So a lot of almost like amplified energy in a way, because it's the same energy from both the planet and the sign that it occupies. And so Neptune in Pisces is all about your dreams. Mars is all about taking action. Now it's taking action related to your dreams. And so Mars in Aries, Aries impacts your 11th house. Pisces occupies your 10th house. So when it comes to the actions you want to take in your circle of friends in order to have the career that you want, see where this is going? This is all about your reputation. Actions that you need to take within your circle of friends to align with the goals that you've set for yourself when it comes to your career and your public reputation there. So that's being highlighted. We'll also have Mars sextile the moon in Aquarius. It'll also be sextile Pluto in Aquarius. And so really what this means here is actions that you're taking as they relate to your friends and your group of friends. Sextile is giving you an opportunity to make some necessary changes here from an emotional standpoint, and also removing barriers in order to have that growth that you're looking for, because that's that 9th house energy. Sorry, I've been recording, so this will be the last one for a while. And then lastly here, we'll have Mars in the sign of Aries, obviously, sextile Jupiter and Taurus. And so Jupiter and Taurus, again, expansion, what you value. Mars in Aries, this is giving you an opportunity to really take action, but it's an opportunity. You will have to act in order to have the expansion that you want. And so what you're looking at here is taking action within your circle of friends in order to really go after exactly what you want here. So this is the reading for the month of April. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.